All right, all right, all right. What's going on, y'all? What's happening, world? Welcome to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News, where everybody is a star. And as I always tell you, the biggest star is you. I'm so delighted to be on this platform, as you can tell by the smile on my face. And to that point, I must give a shout out to DJ CEO Daryl Johnson and Mrs. DJ CEO Tampa Bay Tammy, and express my deep and profound appreciation for making this thing possible, making this thing being In Touch News and um, uh, the Life Malcolm Show. And look, tonight we finna talk. That's what we're gonna do. It is a show. We talk on the show, so it's a talk show. So we're gonna talk. We don't necessarily have a particular theme, but if you follow me on Facebook or anything like that, if you don't, you should. You might learn some things. Maybe you feel more courageous online, and Mike can say some things, and I can address them there, what have you. But yeah, tonight we just talking. A lot of stuff going on today. I bet you don't even know what is significant about history, so to speak, African history, on this day. Like what happened on this day in African history that makes this day a day we should remember. I'll wait. I don't hear nobody calling. All right, then. So I'm going to take it that you don't know what makes today significant in our history. I'm sure you know what makes 2 days ago significant in our history. That, of course, being the assassination of the great, what they call civil rights leader. But I want to say the great orator and courageous young man who died, was killed young, didn't make 40, 39 years old. I'm 46. 39 years old. I'm talking about the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, you know that he was murdered by this government, by the United States government on April 4th, 1968. That was such an incredible thing for many people in this country and around the world, that when this government shot and killed little Bobby Hutton on April 6th, 1968, just 2 days later, 2 days after they murdered, the same government murdered Martin Luther King Jr. A lot of people, they kind of went under the radar, if you will, for many people, because we were still recovering from the horrible attack on our brother Dr. King. Were you able to get little Bobby up for him? Okay. We're gonna put a picture up of little Bobby at some point in the show so you can see him. But little Bobby Hutton, you talking about young? Now Dr. King, he got it. He was born in 1925, right? Yeah, 1925. And so the Rosa Parks thing popped off in 1955. Y'all help me with the history, man. I might trying to keep a lot of numbers in my head these days, so I might be wrong. But I believe Rosa Parks made her stand, if you will, but her sit down, her refusal to stand in 1955, and that, of course, is what pulled Dr. King into the kind of political spotlight that he struggled in for the remaining part of his life. Thank you so much. And so, oh yeah, DJ cut the music. I have to say, big ups, big shout outs, big thank yous to the always super duper incredible and helpful and all the other amazing things I could think of to say about art is true. Things are true. Just an incredible force behind these boards, making it possible for me to look almost smart. And like I know what I'm doing because I don't. And you see me fumbling, but it's okay because we're working through this together. But yeah, they shot and killed King on April 4th. Oh yeah, he was 30 years old. If somebody can fact check me, but I'm believing that he born. I know he was born in January 25, and then he got pulled into this political spotlight. I believe it was 1955, 30. But Lil Bobby Hutton, 17 years 17 years old when he stood with the organization that you know as the Black Panthers, but it was the Black Panther Party for self-defense. You understand me? And so, and that's important to say. That all we wanted to do was defend ourselves in this organization. I can give you a little bit of history about the organization, but we have a lot to talk about tonight, and I don't know if I'm gonna talk about. We'll see. We might backtrack on that, but we what we gonna say right now about Lil Bobby Hutton is he is one of, some say the first. I'm gonna say one of because we don't really know, but he was among the first members of the Black Panther Party killed, and that was a tremendous thing. It shifted the party. It shifted the way the African revolutionary organizers, African working class organizers in this country moved as we waged the tremendous struggle that we waged in the 1960s against the oppression of the United States government. You should know about Lil Bobby Hutton. And hopefully, like I said, we'll get a picture up for you before the show is over. And even if we don't, you can get a picture up yourself. Google everything else. Google Bobby Hutton, Lil Bobby Hutton, BobbyHutton, Lil Bobby Hutton. All right, so just wanted to say that. Also, speaking of being killed by this government, although he's still breathing, by all accounts, he's in bad shape. Our brother DMX. This government is responsible for everything DMX is going for right now. Listen, colonialism will make you do all kinds of things to your body. Like go get a vaccine and stuff like that. You understand? Do drugs, try, drink till you're drunk, and slave all day and hurt your neighbor, and colonialism is responsible for everything wrong with African people in this country. We'd be all right. We were all right before white people came through. And this past Saturday, I was involved in a photo shoot for the In Touch crew, and we had a spirited discussion about whether African people used to do awful things to African people on the continent, like sell each other, enslave each other, and the rest of it. And these brothers with whom I had this conversation, they had some ideas about the world that just didn't match up with reality. White people, the colonizer, has a way of making you believe that the world is one way when it's really another. Malcolm said it best. They have a way of making you believe your enemy is your friend and your friend is your enemy. That's how skillful the colonizer is when it comes to manipulating the colonized. And so when you say to me, because I don't know if you know my background, and I told you we talking, so I'm gonna say a bunch of stuff. So I don't know if you know my background. I got a background now. Before I didn't have a background, just some guy walking around with a bullhorn and a little fire. Maybe some people would call it courage. Maybe some more stuff in me. But now I got a background. I'm a junior historian, and I got some other stuff that we could talk about one day. But believe me, when I say something, I know what I'm talking about, and I can prove it. I've written about it, read about it, and I know what I'm talking about. So when you can't just come up to me and tell me that Africans were selling Africans in Africa before white people came, because it's just not historically true. You got to show me by some kind of record other than some white person says so. You have Eurocentric views of history, and you have Afrocentric views of history, and maybe those views, both of those views are extreme at times in their interpretation of the world. But what neither of those things can escape is the record. And so we have a record of trade items in Africa before white people showed up. We have that record. People traveled the country, the continent of Africa, and wrote things down about their experience. And they would talk about trade items like gold, palm wine, palm oil, cassava, you might call it cassava, cowrie shells, goats, a yam. It wasn't no damn people. It wasn't no people trading no people until white people showed up. Now, if you could show me in the record in African history prior to 1850, and then although white people showed up to Africa and started raping our continent long before 1850, if you can show me prior to 1850 when white people began to colonize Africa, if you can show me where there's a person on the list of trade items in the record, I'll send you $100 right now. Oh, I cash up it to you right now. So get on here and message me, show me something that has a verifiable, reliable source. And so, that's just not true. And then when you say, well, the African people used to enslave each other, okay, imagine that. How the hell? I don't know if y'all remember, slavery is a hell of a thing. It's such a thing that it took the utmost brutality to pull off. Do you know that? They used to beat us with whips, lock us in chains, right? Manacles, hands, and feet. Guess what? And they had guns. Yes, they did. Yes, they had guns when they came to the continent of Africa. They called it a tuo. In some places on the continent, a tuo, ETOU, and the tube that smokes. And Africans were fearful of this thing because they saw how it would rip flesh from an African's body. And so this gun had been around for a while. And so this gun and these whips and Africans did not have that. No, we didn't have that before. We white people, you should know, would brand us. So this my African, this my piece of property. Africans, although we were smelting iron in Moreau in the maybe even in the 18th century, we did not manipulate the iron that we smelted into things that would make manacles and shackles and chains and branding iron. So when people come up to you and try to tell you stupid stuff like African people used to enslave African people, you ought to tell their ass they got to prove it. Show the record. How? Yeah, how? Because they can't do it. What happened is white people who only worked with each other, and still right now can only work with each other based on some kind of exploitative relationship, some kind of get something from you at some kind of extreme cost. When they showed up to Africa and saw us working with each other, not for each other, working with each other, carrying large stones to build pyramids, doing whatever it was we were doing to make our stuff work, they could only, in they colonized mind, they white mind, understand interpret our labor relationship as the same, as being the same as their exploitative labor relationship, and it just was not so. And we can prove it. We can do it anytime you're ready. But right now, what we got to do is take a break. Look, this is the Life Malcolm Show. We right here on In Touch News, www.intouchnews.com. gmail.com. And of course, you can call us at 444-813-444-9588. And I hope you do, because we finna talk that sugar honey iced tea. We'll see you in a few.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe me. 100 down, 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking kids state of Florida, grab up in the sundown. 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just decline. Just ask Ricky, push your voice statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers on our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
All you sports fans, tune in every Monday morning to listen to Mic'd Up Mondays with Michael Clayton. You don't want to miss this.
On In Touch Radio.
All right. And we back. Right here on In Touch News, where everybody is a star, but your star is starting to dim when you don't call in. And if you don't call in, holler at me. You's not the star I thought you were. So be the star you are and give me a call. Holler at your boy, man, because I want to, look, I can talk. Look, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and keep talking. Tell you something. So another thing you might not know, this is African, that's not true. Everything African, that is true for me. But this is National, I was going to say African Poetry Month, because that's what it is. But this is what they call national. I'm from the African nation. So yeah, hell yeah, this National Poetry Month, and understand when I say it, I mean the African nation. But they recognize this month in this country as National Poetry Month. And some of y'all might know I used to do a little something in the poetry world. Ran Tampa Bay. I'm talking about ran it for a long time. Anybody said I didn't, like we just finished talking about history, check the damn record. Yeah, nobody packed more shows. Nobody hosted more shows. Nobody performed at more shows. Nobody sold more CDs. Nobody put more people on the mic. Nobody paid more poets. Nobody, no. I used to run it. Check the record. But I got out. And you might say, well, damn. If you used to run it, why you get out? Let me tell you why. Poetry got foul in this city. And I'm not even, I'll tell you what. Because I got 6 things, maybe 7, that I want to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about it. If you read I told you, if you follow me on Facebook, you already know what I'm going to say. So we're going to talk about it. But I want to get into that poetry. Somebody done found the African selling Africans. Oh, caller, come in. Tell me who did it. Tell me about this nasty Negro you done found used to sell us before the white people showed up.
Hey, this is Joe from Tampa. What's up, guys?
I can't hear you, caller. Maybe it's on my end, but say that.
You hear me better now?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, it might be on my end though. But go ahead, caller. Tell us what your name is and why you're calling. What you want to say?
Oh, this is Joe from Tampa.
What's up, man? Oh, you loud and clear right now, and I miss hearing your voice, man. You know, I've gone home feeling bad when I don't hear from you on the Life Malcolm show. What's going on, brother?
I got 3 things real quick. For one, my man that put the reference and we named that rabbit last week had me die. I was laughing so hard when he called it when he said it. That rabbit just got me thinking different, you know.
Yeah.
But that was funny. But I want to bring back, like a couple weeks ago, man. I heard you. I really appreciate when somebody used the word human capital for Black people, and I heard that conversation, and I was so proud of that because you made that professional say, you know what, I'm not going to talk that. To me, that's talking bad, not intentionally, but let's not dumb down conversations. So when the young lady, the doctor used that word about human capital, and then when obviously how you do, you explain something to her, she said she'll never do that again. I appreciate that kind of stuff because I dislike when somebody dumb down a conversation. If I don't understand, let me ask the question so I can get an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Don't dumb down a conversation for me. No, and it's so funny you mentioned that poetry. Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that poetry just then because, hey, that's what I know you for. And I think you're slacking. That's my opinion only. And I think it's a lot of stuff you could say right now and gather the people just to get a show, whether it's online or one time for the old things at the supper club or something, man. You got to stop slacking.
Yeah, man. Look, brother, I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm going to ever come out of that phone booth with the cape on again, but who knows?
Okay.
I also cannot predict the future, man. Time will tell. But I tell you this, brother, I'm so delighted that you called in and shared these words. I'm glad that you enjoying the show and keeping up with it, even though when you don't call. But look, man, I need you to call because if you don't call, it just ain't the Life Malcolm show. It is the Life Malcolm show ain't the same without Joe. So I mean, that's my word.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
I don't remember the young guy, the fellow you talking. My ignorance is I don't know who Bobby Hutton is. When you mentioned that, I'm like, I heard that before. I have no idea who the hell that is.
Yeah.
So and then with the Fred Hampton movie they did, see, I would hope somebody else, the Hollywood, it ain't got to be Hollywood, our people, black, somebody, it's time to tell the Marcus Garvey story. And keep on going and just push it from there. And we get more awareness and all that woke stuff. No, we're supposed to be like that.
100.
We ain't got to worry about all that stuff.
Yo,
we got to piggyback.
You
Yes,
see
sir.
the shirt, right? You see the shirt?
I'm not on YouTube right now. I got a bad. I'm on.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it.
When you go back and look at it, I got on my Marcus Garvey shirt. I got what I call my teach shirt. I got on my teach shirt, and they say they ain't teach us about Garvey because they ain't want us to know we don't need them or something like that. They say.
And you know what's so funny about that, Life? Just how when Black Panther came out, they didn't know how big that movie was.
Ooh.
Then they put your boy who never started it. I never seen Black Panther, but
hold on, Joe. Let me ask you. Now, when you say Black Panther, are you talking about Panther that Mario Van Peebles did, or are you talking about Black Panther, the one with the cartoon thing, the Marvel comic? Marvel comic?
No, I'm talking about that Marvel comic. Okay, but I'm saying that when you seen how big that movie was, whoever started that, Michael B. Jordan or somebody, you see how they put that next movie out?
Yeah.
That Fred Hampton story did so good. Where's the next movie? Somebody, you know what? Hey, we working on this. Just put it out there. It should be done by the end of this year or summer next time so we can look forward to it.
Yeah.
We got to capitalize just how the colonized capitalize.
Yeah. Hey, that's 100 because the revolution is, economic. We got to be in control. The politics is economic. We got to be in control of our own resources, and that's it. Period. So yeah, I'm with you 100%. But man, look, man, I'm finna go ahead and talk. I'm finna go ahead and talk to Sugar Honey Iced Tea, man. Let me move on.
Next week, man.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, brother. All right, to be continued.
All right, brother.
So, man, I really appreciate Joe calling in. Dope. So, you remember where I was? What I was saying, but okay, listen. So, poetry. I was talking about this poetry stuff, and so this is National Poetry Month, and so I think about artists like DMX and myself and others, man, who gave everything we had to our art form when we were in the height of our journey, so to speak, on that road. And man, it can be taxing, draining, it can be rough. And so it was easy for me to get out after so long. So but I did want to raise that idea of National Poetry Month. Now, since my man Joe brought up Marcus Garvey, this ain't my favorite market, my favorite Teach shirt. And by the way, you know what? I don't get on here and promote myself, promote my stuff, because this really is about me. But I just said this thing is about economics. So look, man, go to shirtsforthoughts.com. I bet you find something that you like. Shirtsforthoughts.com. It don't matter if you spell it with a number 4 or the FOR4. It's gonna get you there. Shirtsforthoughts.com. You're gonna find Teach shirts. You're gonna find Reparations Now shirts, or no, Reparations Matter shirts. No Pig shirts. I got that. Just gave me a new idea. Watch what I do. No Pig You Dig shirts. But watch, watch what I come up with next. But so yeah, yeah. So my Marcus Garvey shirt, man. I'm rocking this because it's so much about us that we don't know, and so much about us that we need to know, and so much about us that they did not teach us because they know we need to know, and know how much our ignorance to our history binds us to this miserable condition in which we live. And I'm about to talk about some of those things now. Are you ready? All right. We finna go with number 1. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna tell y'all some stuff I posted on the Facebook. Oh, and one more current event thing. I gotta shout out. Look, Steve Harvey did too much damn talking in the versus battle, but the versus battle was dope. I really enjoyed the versus battle between Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers. Man, boy, that doggone Verdine hair was laid down, boy. I mean, you ain't see it. You got to go back and watch it. And I'm talking about they played so many classics, so many hits, man. It was dope, man. I really, really, really enjoyed myself. Okay, so finna talk about it. Let me talk about it. I'm finna talk about it. All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I posted on Facebook that I haven't been able to get on Facebook and share like I used to when I had a more lenient, more flexible, more forgiving schedule. But I got 6 things that I want to talk about. We're gonna get through. I'm gonna read 1 and 2 because I only got a few minutes before we go to break. But I'm going to read number 1 and number 2, and we're going to come back and talk about them both on the other side of the break. So number 1, I said, I don't know what's most bizarre. And I don't really have to read it because I know what I said, but I want to make sure, these hating ass listeners trying to catch me won't say, that's not exactly what you said. So I'm going to read it. I don't know what's most bizarre. People believing a paper-thin mask will protect them from the colonial virus. That's A. B, people believing the colonial virus vaccine is safe and effective. Or C, people believing any goddamn thing the colonizer says. I don't know which one is most bizarre. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, I said, the colonizer does not love the African petty bourgeoisie. The colonizer needs the African petty bourgeoisie. That's why the colonizer discards them niggers like trash when the colonizers through using them niggers. Now, I said it, I meant it, and I mean, we got some examples of that. Some recent examples right here in this city. How they just use a nigger. They don't love him. Soon as he say something that they say he can't say, he got to go home without a paycheck in the future. So I mean, we're gonna talk about number 1 and number 2. So I hope when I say I hope you're gonna call in and participate in the discussion. But yeah, I'm so sick of look. Let's say, all right. I am not saying that demask don't work. I'm not saying it don't. I don't just think it's an incredible kind of idea, concept, that you put this piece of thing on your face and this is gonna protect you from the viruses or the virus. I don't know, maybe it's just that one. I think it's just crazy as hell. And then somehow if people think if they get this shot that is gonna be safe. I mean, I'm talking about they ain't never come up. They don't have no evidence. They don't even know how long the thing worked. They don't even know if it worked for a year because it ain't been out a year. And people are going to get it like, and then how the hell do you believe anything the colonizers say? They been lying to you since they told you Jesus was white. And you know I'm right. And you know I got to go. But I'll be back with some more right here on the Life Malcolm Show. Hey, a little bit of poetry. All right, then. All right, look. Stay tuned right here on In Touch News. Call in on the other side of the break, if you will. We'll see you then.
This brutal weather that we experience every year in Florida leaves hundreds of residents needing repairs to their property. If your home has been damaged or needs remodeling, leave it to the professionals. Call Reeves Building, Plumbing, and Roofing. 813-238-6197. That's 813-238-6197. Reeves Building, Plumbing, and Roofing have been serving the community for 43 years. Reeves Building, Plumbing, and Roofing is a proud sponsor of Jazz at Miss Connie's house.
All right. DJ cut the damn thing. Now, I'm usually singing her praises because she does such a wonderful job behind the boards. And tonight she is doing a magnificent job as usual, but my DJ ain't tell me that y'all can still see me when I go to break. So I just been in here doing all the stuff I normally do because y'all get a little screen say In Touch News with the pretty logo and all that. And I thought I was shielded by the logo. I'm just up here drinking water, banging on the table, But look, that's good for you. You'll get to see how I go. Little backstage peekaboo. All right. So that was one. I think we chopped up one. Here, look, you don't have to answer. You should ask yourself, though. Even if you don't answer, you should ask yourself, how the hell this makes sense? You're going to put some mask over your face, and that's going to protect you from getting sick. You're going to go get some shot that don't nobody know how it worked yet. And that's, you just taking a shot with the shot. And then, this how you just believe anything these people say. Just, when they ever told you the truth? When? When have they ever told you the truth? The United States, the greatest country, and the greatest colonizer. I mean, African people ain't nothing but the savages. The Indians, the indigenous people are the savages. They come over here still. All right, okay. So that's number one. Number two. The colonizer does not love the African petty bourgeoisie. What do we mean by the African petty bourgeoisie? We talking about that sellout class of Negroes. Now, they always been around. They ain't just emerged, but it's always been a sellout trader class. I'm talking about that class of Negroes that have been around probably before chattel slavery, but certainly emerged as an effective class during that period. And Malcolm talked about, I like to talk about Malcolm. I quote Malcolm like people quote the Bible. And Malcolm talked about this class. He when he told the story about the house, well, we can't say that word. The house Negro and the field Negro. Y'all, yeah. The house Negro. He ain't say it like that. In the field Negro. It's two different classes. The house Negro loved his master. Was happy to say, Malcolm broke it down, happy to say, I'm the only Negro on my job. And I heard that so many times. At the time I was young, I didn't realize I was listening to a house Negro. I'm the only Negro at my school. I'm the only Negro in my neighborhood. Like Malcolm said, you ain't nothing but a house Negro. But then you had field Negroes who hated the master. That field Negro Malcolm taught us was when the master's house caught on fire, the field Negro is trying to put out the house. I mean, the house Negro is trying to put out the fire. You know, the field Negro was trying to put out the house. That is real. But the house Negro was trying to put out the fire, kill his own self, trying to burn up, go inside, burn up, trying to put out the fire. You understand? But when the when the field Negro saw the fire, he prayed for a wind. You understand? And when the Malcolm said when the master got sick, the house Negro is like, Master, what's wrong? We sick? Is we sick? And Malcolm say when when the field Negro saw the master sick, he prayed that the master died. You understand? So it's always been these petty bourgeois Negroes, these Negroes who want so much to be like the colonizer. They'll do anything, the most embarrassing things you can imagine, just to get in the good graces of the colonizer, even betray their own people, their own nation, their own children, their own mama. They'll do it. They'll do it. And so the colonizer, being able to identify these pieces of this particular class, learn how to capitalize, build on, exploit that class, learn how to use that class against us, turn them into police, turn them into professors, preachers, put them in places, make them. Malcolm taught this too, you know, make them prominent and make people want to follow him and stuff like that. While the real revolution, the real education, the real work, the real science of overturning this foul, stinking, nasty social system rests with the working class. But what the petty bourgeois, the African petty bourgeois does, though, is mistake this colonizer's strategic use of the African petty bourgeoisie as some kind of love, some kind of affinity, some kind of they care, but you know it's not true. Come on now, how many times you've seen the colonizer discard the African bourgeoisie when they done using them? After you can't run the football for them no more like they wanted to, they accuse you of killing white people like OJ. I ain't saying he didn't do it, but I'm just saying. They turned their back on old man. They put the juice through the juicer. When what's that brother with the dogs? Michael Vick. Look here. I mean, I might have said it on this show. Michael Vick, one of the most talented Africans ever put on a football uniform and played on the gridiron. And because they say he might have fought some dogs or something like that, they took his whole life away. You understand? They didn't care. They did not care. People get paid millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, to fight people. They put people in a square and make the people fight the people and get paid big bucks. But Michael Vick maybe might have put some dogs in something other and made them fight and go to prison. I mean, do I have to go to the whole list? Michael Jackson. Look how they did poor Michael. And Michael loved him so much. He turned himself into something looked like an old ugly white woman. He wanted to be one of the most talented Africans in the world. Right? I'm talking about, you should see these videos of this African when he show up, he just get off the plane and just, people just pass out. You understand me? Just at the sight of him. He like 5'3", 120 pounds, you understand? And he just was not satisfied with his own African self because he wanted to so much be like the colonizer. And as soon as they could, and we have to talk about Bill Cosby, that is. I mean, come on, man. Just that when they done using you, and so it's important that the African petty bourgeoisie understands that the colonizer does not love you. The colonizer needs you. Needs because Malcolm also talked about how the colonizer would use the African petty bourgeoisie as a Novocaine, like what the dentist squirting your jaw when they got the machines, they pulling your tooth out, drilling it, and they know the dentists know you're gonna fight them, but so you don't fight them, they put this stuff in your jaw called Novocaine, and the Novocaine don't stop you from suffering. It just make you suffer peacefully. And that's, you can always hear the African petty bourgeoisie, they always telling you, suffer peacefully. They kill your child, suffer peacefully. They kill your mama, your daddy, suffer peacefully. They whatever attack they launch on you, it's okay. Suffer peacefully. And but when they done with them, when they were done with, and yes, Martin King came from that bunch of the African petty bourgeoisie. Man, I ain't even got the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, talk a lot. All right, okay. All right. So my producer let me know got to go to break. So I'm gonna skip some of these then, because okay. Let me pick which one we're gonna talk about. All right, okay. All right. Well, maybe I can't skip. So I'm gonna just run through it. I just want to discuss them. So I'm gonna say this. Since I was talking about Negroes, I got to talk about my man Delvin White. It's my dog. I ain't gonna say nothing, what I need to say about the African petty bourgeoisie is the African petty bourgeoisie, and any petty bourgeois person can commit what's known as class suicide. Yeah, and so class has always been there, but this stupid idea that it's not race now, it's about class. No, that's stupid. It's always been about colonialism, and inside that nasty thing, you have these class divisions. Some who trying to protect colonialism, suck up to colonialism, blend in with colonialism, reform colonialism, enforce colonialism, and those of us who trying to tear that thing down with everything we got, and so. But what you can do is commit class suicide. You have all these petty bourgeois aspirations, but come to the realization that that's not the way of the world. That is this not the side of right. That the right side of history is standing with the oppressed people in the world against the oppressor, against exploitation, against colonial capitalism and the rest of it. And you can commit this class suicide. And so, my man Delvin White, I know him since he was a child. And so when I call him my man, I mean, a pig is a pig is a pig. And I tell him when I see him, I ain't got no love for that. But he has the opportunity, just like every African in the police force, to commit class suicide. Get on our side. Sabotage every investigation you in. Let my people go. You understand? Sabotage every investigation in which you are involved. Let us know you on our side. Show us where to get a handcuff key. Pass them out. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm just saying. I'm not. For example, if we were to make a movie, I'm saying that's the kind of thing, because I don't want somebody to say I'm on the airways promoting illegal activity. I'm just saying, if there was a movie about how to commit class suicide, that would be a hell of a thing. But African passing out handcuff keys. But since I brought up look, how in the hell is the Tampa police chief colonizer, the chief colonizer, gonna act like he don't understand the authentic inherent differences between people and the context that comes with that? He gonna say, well, I can't fire, I can't not fire the black dude if I'm gonna fire the white dude for saying this word. Come on, man, it's different. I bet you that the Tampa Police Department and every one of the precincts has bathrooms for men that are separate from the bathrooms for women, because they know the difference between people. And I bet you that some of the bathrooms got urinals and the other ones don't, because they understand the difference between people. But when it comes to colloquialisms and the way we talk to each other and the way we relate with each other. Oh, all of a sudden he's some big dummy who can't understand context. Yeah. If y'all believe that, well, hell, y'all believe in the mass stuff, so hell. All right, so look, we're going to be back on the other side of the break. And call in! 813-444-9588. What you got to say about it? Oh, I forgot. Oh, my screen ain't coming.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
All right. So we back from the last break of the day. I got gonna get through these fairly quickly since I'm talking about Hacksaw Brian Duggan, the chief colonizer. His ass needed to be silenced. I'm just telling you, because who is here to tell us how to talk among ourselves? And my last word on that is that the chief, hopefully not the last word, my last word tonight on that is that the chief colonizer is the poster child for the paternalism that epitomizes colonialism. Yes, I said it. Who the hell are they to tell us what to do and how to be and when to talk? And who the hell are they? We can do it. We can make up our own damn minds. All right. So, on that note, decline that call. This $27 million settlement around the George Floyd murder. Some people misunderstand that, what it means, the significance, what it is. And y'all know, I ain't no shame in my game. I mean, I know Ben Crump. You seen me in pictures with him. You all right, dude. I mean, for whatever that means. But that don't mean he got it right. That don't mean he's committed the class suicide that he needs to commit in order to make it clear. He on the side of, let me say it, in order to make his separation from the colonizer clear and distinct to African working class people who may be confused about some of the moves he makes. Because I hear what people say about Attorney Crump. I do. But I also know Attorney Crump. But at the same time, it's your responsibility, no matter who you are, sister African, brother African, to make it clear to the people. I got to adjust my hearing aid, y'all. Hold on. Yeah. To make it clear to the people whose side you on. And it's not easy to do sometimes because the colonizer has done such a good job at confusing us about who our enemy is and who is our friend. But I want to say this $27 million settlement is no indication of how much the state values George Floyd's life. No, the reality is the state did not value George Floyd's life more than they did a damn counterfeit $20 bill. That's the reality. The $27 million payout, if you will, is an indication of how much the colonizer is willing to spend in order to protect the colony. How much the colonizer is willing to spend in order to make sure that your black ass don't rise up and rebel against them murdering us in the street like they did and showing it to us on TV every goddamn day. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. To that point, I told y'all before, and I'm going to tell y'all again. All this shooting and killing going on right here in the post I say in Tampa Bay, but anywhere in this country, all this shooting and killing going on in Tampa Bay is going to keep going on until we stop letting the killers walk around in our communities like living permission slips, to kill us. Kill the killers. That's my solution. I don't look here. If you get rid of the killers, you get rid of the killing. Now I know that might sound genius to you, but it's basic. It's basic. Look here. I mean, get rid of the roaches, you won't have no roaches. Get rid of the snakes, you won't have no snakes. Get rid of the snitches, you won't have no snitches. Get rid of the killers, you won't have no killing. I mean, I don't know about you. I've already been drafted into the ugly, wretched, nasty, nauseating club of parents with murdered children. It's an ugly club. Hate being in the club, but I'm in the club. And trust me when I tell you, you don't want to be in the club. But you're going to be sooner or later if you don't participate in stopping the killing. And you know good and well you can't pray enough to stop it. If you don't, you should. Like I said, look. DJ cut the music. I know. Maybe I told y'all this before. I don't know. But it's a because I don't know what y'all be thinking sometimes. Look, I'm not saying don't pray. I'm not saying don't pray. I'm just saying you got to do some other stuff. And tonight, as you see, we're not gonna get to a word from the word because tonight I just want to get some of these things off my mind and into your ears. And I had this awful revelation. I think I might have told y'all this before. And I'm gonna have to, I hope that the station owners will forgive me for, because I gotta say it just like this, just real fast. I'm gonna try to say it like that. But I used to wonder why people wouldn't come in to the poetry shows when there was so much positivity. Used to wonder why people wouldn't come to the community organizing meetings when there was so much political education. I used to wonder why people wouldn't come out to the courthouse demonstrations when the courthouse was tearing our ass up every day. Look, I remember like downtown Tampa is popping now, but I remember when nothing in downtown Tampa was popping but the George Edgecombe Courthouse. Negroes were lined up around the corner. Got to get up in that courthouse, you understand me, or go to the jailhouse. I remember all them buildings that they had downtown were empty until they moved Negroes up out of Central Park, out of North Boulevard Homes, and pushed us out of close to downtown. Yeah. Those buildings, white people weren't. They waited until they got themselves, away from the colonized before these things were popping. The only thing popping was the George, and I was like, we passed that. I was like, why these Africans don't want to be a part of this? And then just other things, political education. Like, why Africans don't want to participate in? Like Africans, why you don't tune into the Life Malcolm show? Why this thing should everybody should be watching this right now. Because where else you gonna get this on a Tuesday night? This is the best place to be on a Tuesday night. the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News. Tell me it ain't. Prove it to me when you say it. But I used to wonder why, and sometimes, before my political maturity, be some kind of like demoralized by that fact. But then one day, as my friend Fred would say, gotta fix my hearing aid, y'all. Hold on. As my friend Fred would say, Fred Evans, I miss Fred. I don't know if he dead or not. I'm just saying I miss him because I ain't seen him since, 20 years this morning. But man, it dawned on me. That's what Fred would say. He wouldn't say it dawned on him. He said it dawned on him. So one day it dawned on me that I live in a world where people, I might have said this on the show before, where people will rather buy shit smell spray instead of learning how to eat better so their shit don't stink. Now, look, we're not gonna do a whole lot of cussing on the show. You know I don't do that. But ain't no way I ain't finna sit up here and go to poop smells, but no, because it don't have the same effect. You would rather buy the smell spray than eat right so your don't stink. Yeah, and when it dawned on me that I live in a world. Because it hit me like I couldn't say it just dawned on me like it just passively happened. There were commercials about this thing. they got all the commercials. They got jingles and slogans and logos about all this smell spray. I'm like, who the hell buys smell spray? It got it on the shelves. I mean, ladies look somewhat half decent, admit to carrying it in their purse, but they won't eat right. So listen, you don't have to stink when you go to the bathroom. You don't. If you eat right, you don't. I promise you, I'm a living witness. Smell like fresh cut grass when I get done doing the Lord's work in there. Yeah, because I eat well, drink my water, take my vitamins and my minerals, and I don't eat the colonizers' cuisine. You know what I'm talking about? That McDonald's, Burger King, Church Chicken, Popeyes, Bojangle, pick with all that. Yeah. Oh, hell no. So I'm no longer demoralized and discouraged. Just know that I have like every African worker out here, have my tasks, got my job cut out for me. Because we're going up against a hell of a thing. This colonial machine, this colonizing machine is a hell of a thing. And we up against it. It's our responsibility to overturn it, though. And not saying that, want to say as we get ready to close. We're getting ready to close. If you want to call in, you better call now. 813-444-9588. And if you don't, there ain't no problem with me. You probably in the bathroom with your smell spray. Or going shopping for it or something. But African internationalism is the only way, the only science, the only theory, the only philosophy that's going to free the African working class. I promise you that. Check out Chairman Omala Yeshitela, the African People's Socialist Party, the Uhuru Movement, the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations, the Black Power Blueprint. See it for yourself, what it looks like to be organized for African liberation, preparing to govern ourselves because we can. So can't no chief colonizer tell us who can be in our community and who can't. Saying what we want to say and saying or whatnot and policing us and what have you. African internationalism is the way, y'all. And yeah, let's build, man. Let's make this thing happen. Let's build this kingdom. Kingdom is coming. Be a part of it. And that's my time. I really appreciate you listening. I don't have to hope. I know I said something today that touched you, that taught you, that moved you. I hope you share this. I do have to hope this. I hope you share this with your family members, friends, and even some of your enemies, especially if you don't like them at all. They that this might make y'all friends. All right, so we'll talk in the future. Right here, same time, same channel. The Life Malcolm Show, In Touch News. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. To be continued. Else.